Look at your life right now. Not the life you wish you had. Not the life you show the world. The real one. The one you live when nobody is watching. The one filled with quiet battles, hidden tears, and questions you don't know how to answer. You are still here. You are still breathing. And that means something inside you refuses to give up even when your mind wants to. There were moments you thought would break you forever. Moments when you felt small, forgotten, and powerless. Moments when the weight of disappointment sat on your chest and made it hard to breathe. You trusted people who walked away. You believed in dreams that fell apart. You tried your best and still lost. And slowly, without realizing it, you started to believe that pain was all you deserve. But pain is not your identity. Pain is not your destiny. Pain is not the end of your story. Pain is the beginning of your transformation. You didn't choose every hardship that came into your life. You didn't ask for every wound. You didn't plan every failure, but you survived them. And survival is not accidental. It means something inside you is stronger than what tried to destroy you. There are scars on your heart that nobody can see. Conversations you replay in your mind, nights when sleep escaped you, days when you smiled in public and collapsed in private. You became good at hiding your struggles. You learned how to be strong in front of people while breaking inside, and the world calls that normal. But inside, you know something is wrong. You know you were meant for more than just surviving. You were meant to live. You were meant to rise. You were meant to become. Pain has a strange way of changing us. It hardens us or awakens us. It either turns us bitter or makes us wiser. It either teaches us fear or teaches us strength. The difference is what you decide to do with it. You can let your past control you, or you can let it teach you. You can let your failures define you, or you can let them shape you. You can let your fear stop you, or you can let it prepare you. Everything you went through had a lesson. Every disappointment was pointing you toward a better direction. Every rejection was protection. Every closed door was saving you from the wrong room. But when you're inside the storm, it doesn't feel like protection. It feels like punishment. It feels unfair. It feels lonely. It feels personal. And that's when most people quit. That's when most people decide their story is finished. But your story is not finished. It is being rewritten. You don't become strong by living an easy life. You become strong by walking through fire and refusing to stay burned. You become strong by falling and choosing to stand again. You become strong by facing pain and deciding it will not own you. There were days you wanted to disappear. Days you questioned your worth. Days you wondered if anyone would notice if you stopped trying. And yet you kept going. Even slowly, even quietly, even when nobody clapped for you. That is courage, that is resilience, that is power. The strongest people are not those who never feel pain. The strongest people are those who feel it deeply and still move forward. They cry, but they continue. They hurt, but they rise. They fail, but they grow. Your pain has given you depth. Your struggle has given you understanding. Your wounds have given you empathy. One day, your story will heal someone else. One day, your survival will become someone else's hope. Right now, you might feel behind in life, like others are moving ahead while you're stuck, like time is running and you are standing still. But growth is not a race. Healing is not a competition. Everyone's journey is different. What matters is not how fast you move. What matters is that you don't stop. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know the whole path. You only need to take the next step, and then the next, and then the next. The future is built by small decisions made in hard moments. The future is shaped by quiet discipline, not loud motivation. The future is created by those who keep showing up when it would be easier to quit. You have been carrying too much alone. Expectations, regrets, fear, doubt, guilt. You blame yourself for things you didn't know how to fix. You punish yourself for mistakes you made while trying to survive. But hear this clearly. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. You are not the same person anymore. You have learned, you have grown, you have changed. And change is painful. Change requires letting go of who you are. Change demands that you step into uncertainty. Change forces you to face parts of yourself you avoided. But staying the same hurts more. Staying in the same pain hurts more. Staying in the same fear hurts more. Staying in the same excuses hurts more. At some point, you must decide which pain you are willing to live with. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret? The pain of growth or the pain of staying small? Your mind will try to protect you by keeping you comfortable. But comfort is where dreams die. Comfort is where potential fades. Comfort is where your future is sacrificed for temporary peace. You were not born to live a small life. You were not created to settle for less than what you are capable of. You were not designed to spend your days wishing instead of building. There is a fire inside you that hasn't gone out. It's been buried under disappointment. It's been covered by fear. It's been ignored by doubt. But it is still there. And fire does not disappear. It waits for oxygen. This moment is oxygen. This pain is oxygen. This realization is oxygen. You don't need to become someone else. You need to return to who you were before the world told you to be smaller. Before failure made you afraid. Before loss made you cautious. You were once curious. You were once curious. You were once hopeful. You were once willing to try without knowing the outcome. That version of you is not gone. It is waiting. Waiting for you to stop punishing yourself for the past. Waiting for you to stop running from discomfort. Waiting for you to stop listening to the voice that says you can't. There are two voices inside you. One speaks fear. One speaks possibility. One reminds you of everything that went wrong. One reminds you of everything that could go right. The voice you obey becomes your future. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are learning. You are not weak. You are healing. One day, this pain will make sense. One day, this struggle will look like training. One day, this darkness will reveal its purpose. But today, you don't need to understand it. You only need to survive it. You only need to keep going. You only need to refuse to quit. Your past tried to teach you that you are not enough. Your future is waiting to show you that you are more than enough. And it begins now, not when life gets easier, not when fear goes away, not when everything is perfect. It begins when you decide to rise, to fight, to become. You have spent so much of your life trying to be strong for everyone else. You carried responsibilities that were never meant for a single heart. You accepted silence instead of support. You learned how to survive without asking for help. And over time, you forgot what it felt like to be at peace. There is a loneliness that comes from being the one who never falls apart in front of others. People see your smile and assume you are fine. They see your effort and assume you are unbreakable. They see your progress and assume it was easy. But they never saw the nights you questioned everything. They never heard the conversations you had with yourself in the dark. They never felt the weight of the fear you carried quietly. You trained yourself to be strong because you had no other choice. You became responsible because nobody else was. You became mature because life demanded it too early. And now you wonder why rest feels uncomfortable and peace feels unfamiliar. But strength without healing becomes exhaustion. Discipline without purpose becomes punishment. Responsibility without balance becomes a burden. And that is why you feel tired in ways sleep cannot fix. You were not meant to carry everything alone. You were not meant to be perfect. You were not meant to never struggle. You were meant to grow, to fail, to learn, and to rise again with wisdom instead of wounds. There is a part of you that still believes you must suffer to deserve success. That pain is the price of progress. That rest is weakness. That asking for help is failure. But that belief is not strength, it is survival. And survival is not the same as living. Living means allowing joy without guilt. Living means believing you deserve peace. Living means building a future that does not look like your past. Living means trusting that you can create a better story than the one you were handed. Your past taught you how to endure. Your future will teach you how to thrive. Right now, your mind keeps reminding you of what went wrong. It shows you scenes of regret. It whispers what you should have done differently. It replays moments you cannot change. But the mind that replays pain is the same mind that can imagine power. You must teach it a new story, a story where failure is not shame, a story where mistakes are lessons, a story where effort is respected, a story where progress is celebrated, a story where you're not defined by your lowest moment. Every time you speak badly about yourself, you are reinforcing a version of you that no longer exists. You are judging today's strength with yesterday's weakness. You are measuring growth with old standards. You are not who you used to be. You are someone who has learned, someone who has adapted, someone who has survived, someone who is still standing when many would have quit. That matters. The world will not pause for your healing. It will keep moving. It will keep demanding. It will keep testing you. And that is why your inner world must become stronger than your outer world. Your beliefs must become louder than your doubts. Your discipline must become stronger than your excuses, not because life is cruel, but because life is training you to handle more responsibility, training you to manage more success, training you to become someone who does not collapse under pressure. But training is painful. Growth stretches you, change challenges you, and resistance feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is changing. Most people run when it hurts. They return to what is familiar. They choose what is easy. They repeat what is safe. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Change requires courage. Courage to disappoint people. Courage to leave old patterns. Courage to be misunderstood. Courage to try again after failure. You will outgrow some people. You'll outgrow some habits. You will outgrow some beliefs. And that loss will feel like grief. Because even pain becomes familiar. Even struggle becomes normal. Even chaos becomes comfortable. But comfort can be dangerous when it keeps you small. There is a future version of you who is stronger, calmer, wiser, and more focused. That version is watching what you do today. That version is built by the choices you make when nobody is watching. That version is created by the habits you repeat when motivation is gone. You do not need a perfect day to make progress. You need a committed heart. You do not need confidence to begin. You need action to build confidence. You do not need to know the end. You need to start where you are. Small steps done daily become unstoppable momentum. Quiet discipline becomes loud results. Consistency becomes character. And character is what carries you when feelings fail. There will be days when you do not feel strong. Days when fear is louder than belief. Days when doubt feels heavier than hope. On those days, you must move anyway. Not because you feel ready, but because you are tired of staying stuck. Action changes emotion. Movement changes mindset. Progress changes perspective. You do not escape pain by avoiding effort. You escape pain by creating meaning. You do not heal by hiding. You heal by becoming. Your pain has already taken enough from you. It has taken your time. It has taken your energy. It has taken your peace. Do not let it take your future too. The future is not built by waiting for motivation. It is built by building discipline. Discipline to wake up when it is hard. Discipline to work when you are tired. Discipline to believe when you are afraid. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is saying, I will not abandon myself. I will not give up on my dreams. I will not let my past decide my future. You have a responsibility to your potential, a responsibility to the life you could live, a responsibility to the person you could become. One day, You will look back and see that this struggle was shaping you. This confusion was directing you. This pain was preparing you. But today, you must trust without seeing. You must move without certainty. You must believe without proof. Faith is not knowing the path. Faith is walking anyway. And walking is hard when your legs are tired. Standing is hard when your heart is heavy. Believing is hard when life has disappointed you. But you are still here, and that means something inside you has not surrendered. You are not meant to stay broken. You are meant to become whole. You are not meant to stay afraid. You are meant to become brave. You are not meant to stay small. You are meant to expand, and expansion hurts. Growth aches. Change burns. But so does regret. So choose the pain that leads to power. Choose the struggle that builds strength. Choose the discomfort that creates destiny, because one day you will wake up and realize you are no longer the person who was afraid. You are no longer the person who doubted. You are no longer the person who waited. You are the person who tried. You are the person who continued. You are the person who became. And it is happening now, in every choice, in every effort. In every hard moment you refuse to surrender. This is not the end of your story. This is the middle. And the middle is where heroes are made. There comes a moment in every life when excuses stop working. A moment when blame feels empty. A moment when the past loses its power and the future demands an answer. That moment is not loud. It is quiet. It arrives in the silence after disappointment. It shows up when you are tired of being tired. It appears when you finally realize that nothing will change unless you do. You have waited for signs. You have waited for permission. You have waited for confidence. But confidence is not something you receive. It is something you build by keeping promises to yourself. Every small promise kept becomes self-respect. Every small victory becomes belief. And belief becomes identity. For too long, you have allowed your environment to decide your energy. You have allowed other people's opinions to shape your worth. You have allowed past failures to define your future. But the truth is simple. You are not what happened to you. You are what you decide to become because of it. Your mind has been trained by experience. It learned fear from pain. It learned doubt from loss. It learned hesitation from disappointment. But the same mind can be trained again. It can learn courage from effort. It can learn strength from struggle. It can learn confidence from action. The story you tell yourself matters. If you say you are weak, you will act weak. If you say you are broken, you will live broken. But if you say you are learning, you will grow. If you say you are becoming, you will change. There is a difference between suffering and sacrifice. Suffering is pain with no purpose. Sacrifice is pain with direction. When you attach meaning to struggle, it becomes training. When you attach vision to effort, it becomes progress. Right now, you are standing between two lives, the life you know and the life you want. One is built from habits that kept you safe. The other is built from habits that will make you strong. One feels familiar. The other feels uncertain, but only one leads forward. You cannot reach a new future with old behavior. You cannot create a new identity with old excuses. You cannot expect a different result while repeating the same patterns. Change begins when discomfort becomes more painful than discipline. And discipline is not about punishment. It is about direction. It is choosing long-term respect over short-term comfort. It is choosing growth over avoidance. It is choosing who you want to be over who you used to be. You will be tested. Life will check if you are serious. Old habits will call you back. Old fears will whisper again. Old doubts will return. That does not mean you failed. It means you are changing. Every time you choose effort over excuse, you rewrite your identity. Every time you show up when you want to quit, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Every time you continue when it is hard, you build the character that success requires. You do not become strong in moments of comfort. You become strong in moments of resistance. You do not grow when life is easy. You grow when life challenges you. You do not discover who you are when everything is fine. You discover who you are when everything is tested. There will be days when you want to stop, days when progress feels invisible, days when your mind tells you nothing is changing. On those days, remember this: progress is not always loud. Growth is not always visible. Transformation often happens quietly. A seed grows in darkness before it reaches the light. Roots grow deep before branches grow tall. Strength develops inside before it shows outside. Your work today is building a future you cannot yet see. Do not measure your journey by other people's timelines. Do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Your path is your own. Your pace is your own. Your purpose is your own. Comparison will steal your peace. Focus will build your power. The world will try to label you by your past. It will remind you of mistakes. It will remember your failures. But you are allowed to change your story. You are allowed to grow beyond your reputation. You are allowed to become someone new. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgiveness is freeing yourself from carrying what no longer serves you. Let go of the weight of old guilt. Let go of the anger that drains your energy. Let go of the fear that limits your movement. You cannot run forward while looking backward. There is something waiting for you on the other side of effort. A version of you that is calmer. A version of you that is stronger. A version of you that trusts itself. A version of you that no longer lives in reaction but lives in intention. That version is built through consistency, through patience, through courage, through showing up when no one is watching. You do not need applause to continue. You do not need recognition to grow. You do not need approval to improve. You need commitment. Commitment to your values, commitment to your vision, commitment to your future. One decision repeated daily becomes destiny. And destiny is not written by luck. It is written by behavior. Your life is the result of what you do repeatedly. Your confidence is the result of what you practice. Your future is the result of what you choose. So choose progress, choose responsibility, choose effort, choose belief. You have already survived things that were meant to stop you. You have already walked through storms that tested your spirit. You have already proven that you are stronger than moments that tried to break you. Now it is time to live like it. Live like someone who knows their value. Walk like someone who trusts their direction. Speak like someone who believes in their purpose. Work like someone who refuses to return to the life they outgrew. You are not starting from nothing. You are starting from experience. You are starting from lessons. You are starting from wisdom earned through struggle. And that makes you dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to fear, dangerous to limits, because now you know what pain feels like, and you also know what survival feels like, and that combination creates strength that cannot be taught in comfort. There will be moments when you question if it is worth it, when the road feels long, when the results feel slow. In those moments, remember why you began. Remember the nights you cried. Remember the days you felt stuck. Remember the promise you made to yourself that you would not stay there. You are not moving for applause. You are moving for peace. You are not working for attention. You are working for freedom. You are not building to impress others. You are building to become yourself, and becoming yourself is the greatest victory. One day, you will stand in a place you once dreamed about, and you will realize that every hard moment was necessary. Every delay was teaching you patience. Every failure was teaching you resilience. Every loss was teaching you perspective. You will not wish away your past. You will respect it because it made you capable of holding what you prayed for. So keep going, even when it is slow, even when it is heavy, even when it is lonely. Because the life you want is not built by comfort. It is built by courage, and courage is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is daily. It is persistent. Courage is waking up and trying again. Courage is choosing growth over fear. Courage is refusing to surrender to the voice that says, stop. You are closer than you think. You are stronger than you feel. You are more prepared than you realize. And your story is not over. It is unfolding. With every step you take, with every fear you face, with every excuse you release, with every effort you make, this is not the end. This is the beginning of the life you create on purpose.